Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Friday, March 8th, 2013. I'm Astrologer David Palmer, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, we got that dark moon in Aquarius today, and Mercury retrograde is coming right on top of Chiron. So there's a lot to talk about because we're getting ready for a big new moon happening here on the end of Sunday into Monday, and then Mars going into Aries the beginning of next week. So there is some big shifting. We are at this dark kind of closing energy. For some, they might view this as dark. For others, they could feel like there's a lot closing and a new beginning ahead. Today, our emotions are wrapped up in disconnection, wanting to disconnect from the flow a little bit, wanting to disconnect from things that, aren't part of our future. It's our future that we're wrapped up emotionally in today. It's wanting to make sure that we have the ability to feel like we're not so drenched into things, that we can break away or do something different. There's this feeling of just wanting just things to change, for things to come into a complete understanding when things have been very confusing. There's been clarity though in this confusion. The clarity is spirit. The clarity is your gut. Your gut knows how it's all going to happen. Oh gosh, who knows how that's going to happen. But there's a knowing. There's a deep, subtle knowing. Now, the moon today is going to trine Jupiter. So it's a very interesting day because there is a lot of windows of opportunity for you to understand where your mind has been messing things up, where you can have a better outlook of your future if you're accepting of the flow. But that moon's going to then square Saturn, and what that means is we can get frustrated emotionally if there are some holdups, which there are right now, especially because Mercury is retrograde, right? There can be some frustrations of us wanting the future that has the true desires that we want, the true connections we want, and it can be frustrating to see that it's in our future, that it's not here right now, that we can't have the way we want it right now. And it's the other energy where we come down into making sure that we understand all of our problems, our wounds deep down, our real deep sensitivities are becoming clear with this Mercury retrograde on Chiron today. And that's the signal. The signal shows your own sensitivities, your own weird energies of feeling like it will not turn out the way it's supposed to. Will become clear of where there's problems in your mind, where there are issues in how you understand the information that's coming to you is not in the way that it normally is. It's in a very deep, weird spiritual realm. And when you get Aquarius and Pisces, it's weird. And we're getting ready for this big, weird push in the weirdest direction of our lives coming up into this weekend. And this is the Friday, the day before. So there's a little weird energy. There's exciting energy to be had. So let's stop and talk about the inspirational, right? And this is all inspirational, but there is good energy. There is positive energy in all this. There is optimism. There's the future. There is the closing of getting out of cycles that have been holding you back in your life, making sure you're tapping into listening to the signs, the dreams in your life. Those are so important. All the messages are there. All the messages are in your spiritual self. All the messages are in the birds and the bees and the flowers all around you. And I know that sounds so hippie. Yes, I was born to parents of hippies, but it is right around you in the stillness. But you can only pay attention to this stuff when you're in the flow. So if you're not in the flow, then it's going to be really hard because you're looking for it. Your mind starts to want to figure it out, and that's where the problem is. It's about understanding it in the middle of the flow. Understanding how you made that three-pointer at the buzzer while you were in the flow. Not trying to figure out how to make a three-pointer during the buzzer when it's not the buzzer or whatever. Like, you have to be in the moment. Whenever you're in a game and it's the end of the game and you're about to score and it's the game on the line, it's the end, the last thing you're doing is thinking. The ones who think lose the game. The ones that just know how to get in the zone and just make the shot, get it done. And that's what consciousness is. That's what the moment of the reality of how we can access our core, of how we can access spirit. That's how it all happens. That's what's the real, true essence of it. So we're going to find out today and understand through this weekend, why is it that we can't just go with the flow? Why does our mind come in between the flow? Why? And that can be the biggest question of them all, not the questions that you're trying to answer right now of why this is happening, how come I feel this way, oh God, when's this? No, why can't you just sit in the flow? Why can't you just accept the flow, accept the way things happen? And being in the flow is the only way out. And when I mean the flow, that is the moment. That's when you're driving and you're flowing. And, it's almost like you need some exciting events, some unpredictable things to keep you in the flow. You need something to pull you into the flow. But sitting around in it, unless you're meditating, unless you're deep in spirit, it will be hard. It'll be hard energy. And we're getting ready, and I'm going to do a big, weekend scope, but Friday, be optimistic. Start to see the patterns in your mind, the patterns in your soul of why you can't keep in the flow, why you can't keep things really going there. And then also find out what are the wounds and understand what they are. And be accepting of them. Be compassionate over it. Know that you're going to take the right direction, especially when Mars moves into Aries. The direction will be there, the new starts are there, and you're getting a fresh new start. We are ending everything. We are giving the universe all the stuff, and we are compacting our trash bag and being like, look at all this stuff we don't want anymore in our life. And we're ready to go dump it here starting next week. So be ready. Be ready for the future. Be ready and know that we are changing things up in our lives to make them the way we want it to, but it takes a lot of adjustments. So don't be frustrated today. Just stay in the moment. Imagine being in the three-pointer, at the end of the buzzer. How can you make your life in that moment today? Some people might do something crazy, like want to go jump off, a cliff or something, just to be in that moment where they're not thinking about that weird energy of why they have anxiety or why their girlfriend left them or why all these weird things, right? These are the things that keep us out of the flow, where all the healing truly happens. Check out my website, david-palmer.com, if you want a 15, 30, 60, or 90-minute reading. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Check out for my weekend horoscope. I also got my week with One Feather up right now, and then I put up another show from Office Hours and Soul Garden, and then I have a whole new show that comes out on Mondays, which I can't wait to show you guys, and it comes out Monday. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.